Occasionally I treat myself with luxury brands, but I'm not really into that, to be honest. I like quality. After all of this ordeal, the biggest luxury really is being able to breathe and eat and feel and love and to watch and to hear, and just the basics. We are so lucky, you have no idea. So this week has really made me thankful of all of these things. Okay, hi guys, and welcome back, or welcome to the show. I am indeed back home. Very, very thankful to be alive and breathing and able to do this vlog with you today. So just bear with me, my voice is not exactly the same. I don't think it will ever be the same. But before I get into all of that, I just want to say a massive, heartfelt thank you to everybody that commented in the last video. It really, it touched me, it inspired me, to the bottom of my heart. I'm so thankful to have an audience and such amazing people of such quality of viewers such as yourselves. There was such a response, so many comments and emails that I simply, if I was to respond to everybody, I would be here until for months. So I think what I'll do is I'll just say a massive thank you to everybody who commented and left a message and really helped me. You have no idea. Last week was absolute hell for me. It was a tough week. Wouldn't wish any of it on my worst enemies. I really wouldn't. I'll get into it in just a moment, but I just want to say a massive thank you. I cannot say thanks enough, I really am speechless. I can't quantify, I can't describe. There is not the vocabulary. There is to express my gratitude to you guys for getting me through this. It really helped. All the people that sent me emails, advice from all over the world. It was amazing. I was touched. To think that there is that many respectable, honourable, decent human beings out there is so it's such an uplifting, such an optimistic thing. It really spurred me on. I'm going to put so much more effort into this vlog for you guys. You deserve it. You are amazing. I thank you, every single person who commented. I would have never thought in a million years that there was that many kind, generous, respectful, fantastic human beings out there. I really mean that. Anyway, moving on. Let me explain what happened. I've had a history of lung problems. My right lung collapsed a few years ago. Much worse than the collapse last 2 weeks ago. It was extremely painful. I had to have a tube put in, and they put a tube in here, and you're conscious when they put the tube in. They drain the fluids, so because otherwise the cavity will flood. It can be very painful. Unfortunately, I just have a genetic disposition to this. It's to do with my torso, the shape of my torso, and there's nothing I can do. And of course, the risk of it recollapsing is almost 50%. So I didn't live in fear. I did my, you know me guys, I exercise like crazy. It's something that I'm probably never going to be able to do again for my life, in my life, and it was a big shock last week. I realize now that I can't live like that anymore. Anyway, I went to Mount Sinai and with lung problem, with breathing problems, and I thought nothing of it. I thought it was a cold, because I know it sounds crazy, but I do that typical thing of saying to my wife, no, it's fine, give it a few days, I'll be fine. And I actually had a collapsed lung on this side for a few days. I tried to exercise like a madman, and I just couldn't do it. And then I realized, you know, maybe I should go to hospital. X-ray showed that this left lung had collapsed. So I was in a pretty bad way because this one was on the verge of collapsing as well. There was some air pockets in this one, and I was due to fly to London a week last Monday. Had I done that with a collapsed lung, only relying on my weaker right lung, could have been I could have been a goner. The pressurized cabin, the altitude, all the rest of it, it wouldn't have been very good. I decided to also go, after they put the tube in on my left, to take out the fluids that were slowly, because it's a bit like drowning in your own fluids, and it's extremely painful. Luckily this time it wasn't as painful, and that's why I put off going to the doctors. Don't be the tough guy. Don't do the mistake I do, you know. Go to the doctors. I've done this so many times with kidney stones, with my first lung. I thought I stupidly could sleep it off. Had I have got on that plane, had I have not ignored my wife, or she had not been here, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. After they put the tube in and was draining the fluids and trying to get the lung working again, I decided to have the operation. I didn't have the operation on both lungs because there are some negatives to this particular operation where they glue the lung wall of the cavity. So they remove the chance of me having these air bubbles. Bad side of this is, well, the good thing is that this lung now in theory should not be able to collapse, but I have a lower lung capacity, and this is what is tough. I realized that I might never be able to exercise like I used to. Of course I'm going to try and get back into exercise when I'm healthy enough, but exercise was very important to me. I don't go to gyms. I'm not into, you know, I've said millions of times, I'm not into trying to build up. I just want to be slim and slender and healthy. So that part of my life is over, and I will of course try and get back into shape afterwards, but I just can't do it to the extent I was doing before, which for me was a big shock, and I'm still kind of dealing with that, you know. Life is never going to be the same, but at the same time I'm here, I'm able to breathe, and I'm just so thankful. So the operation went fine. I had an epidural in my spine, and I spent 48 hours in recovery, stuck in this position. Luckily, my wife bought me a new iPhone. It's the iPhone 6, by the way. And I've got the Van Gogh, Memento Mori, Van Gogh art cover. I'll do a review on that later date. Anyway, so the nurses snuck in my phone, and I was just able to move one of my arms to use very basic, and for 48 hours I was stuck in this position. I was just watching YouTube and watching you guys, and it was great because I don't have time to watch YouTube normally. I went to Mount Sinai, which is just around the corner here in Queens in Astoria. It's where I went last time, and I had the same doctor that fixed me up last time. Luckily I wasn't in as much pain. A collapsed lung the pain is the equivalent of being stabbed. It's a very sharp, constant pain, and hence the epidural. And anyway, those of you who have had it, you will undoubtedly know about it, and I'm fairly good at handling it. So I was there in recovery watching your guys' YouTube videos. I especially liked the discussion on luxury, and I will do a video on this. I think it was the Fixed Wing Guy channel or something that I wasn't aware of, but I really enjoyed that channel. And of course I was watching Johnny and Jeff McMahon and Style Khan, and CG had some fantastic the Amateur Watch Collector, fantastic videos. Luxury Lifestyle with Dave over there, Luxury Lifestyle. All you guys, you kept me going, you really did. I was unable to it took me ages with one hand to type the messages, but I got some messages out. I got a quick email off to Johnny to kind of update you guys. My doctors were fantastic. My nurses were amazing nurses. Not just some of the most beautiful nurses I've ever seen, but also the most helpful. It made this awful experience go that much more easier, you know. My doctor was fantastic. He during the prep for the operation, he had Spotify on the phone, and he asked me what music I'd like to listen to while they prepped and put me under and during the operation, and I said, of course, opera, and they did indeed play opera. So as I was falling asleep and they were getting ready and positioning me, and because it's quite a complicated thing, I had to have a big tube down my throat. They were going to actually shut off this lung so they could work on it, and because my other lung was on the verge of collapse as well, I don't know, they put some tube in to support me in my breathing. But they did play opera, and it was fantastic, and it went very, very well. The hardest part is recovery and getting the pain, you know, managing the pain. People react differently in situations of extreme pain. I tend to go very quiet, and I just grin, you know, I grind my teeth, and I'm like this. I harden up, and of course, I've probably pulled every single muscle I have. This poor guy in the bed next to me was up night after night screaming and screaming, and it was horrific. I'm not going to lie. But the nurses were outstanding. They were fantastic. You know, I mean, when I woke up, I had the tubes coming out of every orifice, and it was not pleasurable. Anyway, I did a lot of watch shopping while I was under, and pretty much this was my watch of choice for the hospital, my heritage. My honeymoon phase is still not over for this. I still absolutely adore this watch, and it's perfect for the hospital because, you know, I didn't have to worry about it getting stolen like if you wore my Rolly. At the same time, it was elegant and just reliable, and I did a lot of watch shopping, but luckily I came this close to buying a Tudor Black Bay. I'm gonna be thinking about it, and we'll go through it this week. There's gonna be a lot of wristwatch talk. I've probably never bought so many watches in such a short period of time, but there's a lesson for you. Don't go watch shopping when you're high on pain meds, alright? Do not do it, because I was off my head, and I just want to end with thanking you all again and wishing you all the best, and stay tuned. There's going to be videos every other day as much as I can. I'm at home, I'm not working, I've got nothing else to do, so I'm just going to be making videos for you guys. So anyway, please like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new to the channel, stay tuned, lots of new watches, lots of wristwatch talk, the rest of it, lots to do. So please like this video, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one. And thank you guys again. I really mean it. I couldn't have done it without you. And so I'm back. Okay guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, ciao.